Hello gamers, welcome to the channel. This is Papa Brad. Today we'll be installing the Legends Pinball 4K surround sound feedback kit, the SSF kit inside the Addams family Legends Pinball 4K. Let's get it started. Here you have it, the AtGames SSF kit for Legends 4KP pinballs. Let's get this mug installed. Comes packed up nice in this foam. Nothing damaged in shipping. We put in this Addams family right here. First thing you want to do is make sure you have plenty of room around the unit. Make sure you can get all the way around it. Unplug that cable from the wall. And let's get this mug unboxed. Here you have it. Snap my fingers. Boom! You got a subwoofer. So you got a bunch of bags with all the parts in it. You got the exciters. You got a bunch of cables. You got an amplifier board. And you've got a power supply board. You got some shielding. Beautiful hardware. You know, at first it's scary, but believe me, if a regular Joe like Papa Brad can install this thing, so can you. Hey, I'm not going to say it was easy, but I got it done, and I'm kind of proud of it. It was a bit intimidating at first, but thanks to a wonderful video by Wagner's Tech Talk, he kind of held my hand and guided me through it. Thanks to Wagner, I got the SSF kit installed, and I'm rolling. First step is removing the 32-inch main playfield. You're going to take all the screws off around the machine. You're going to take off the lock bar and the side rails. You're also going to remove the 4 screws from the control panel. Once you get that all done, you're going to tilt the control panel and disconnect the cables. Once the cables are disconnected from the control panel, you can take that mug off of the pinball machine. Just like that. We've started the adventure of installing the Legends Pinball 4K surround sound feedback kit. Let's go. I won't be putting that back on. I have the control deck I'm going to put on. Take the glass off. Be very careful lifting the glass off. You want to pull it to the front. Don't pry it because you could crack your glass. There are 4 screws going around the monitor to detach the monitor. When I lifted the monitor out, I was pleasantly surprised to see it was a BOE monitor. Very sharp, good looking monitor. 32-inch main playfield weight is 10 pounds. Just take your time. Most important thing with this is this took me like a full day. I compressed this. I kind of time-lapsed it so long. But I was watching Wagner's video the whole time. Got the 4 screws out that hold in the monitor. Gently take the monitor out. There's a cable that goes up at the top of the monitor. And there's a power cable at the bottom of the monitor. Both of those cables off. They just plug in. Everything's basically plugged. The only thing you need for this whole thing is a screwdriver.
Put the latch at the bottom of the connector upward. Then you can gently remove the display cable and remove the display from the machine.
The monitor basically has 3 connections you have to deal with. And once you got the cables off, including the video cable, just lift off the screen. You're going to put standees first, then you're going to assemble the power supply board and the amplifier board. Little stands that hold up the pinball. There's a bunch of little screws that go in. I would recommend just following Wagner's video. I got almost all the way through, and yes, I dropped one of those tiny screws and it rolled under everything. So that was fun. But I figured it out. I got the screw. After you got the power board, after you've got the power supply and the amplifier board secured, you're gonna start putting exciters on the side. Kudos to AtGames. They actually pre-screwed the holes for the where the exciters go. One thing that I made a mistake on, make sure that the exciters with the long cables are in the back. D and E have much longer cables. I got everything connected, then realized I didn't have them in the right spots. So just make sure the ones with the long wires are in the front of the pinball machine, because those wires are long enough. Just take your time. Once all the inciters are installed on the machine, then you're going to put the gigantic subwoofer into it. So you're installing 4 inciters. You're basically installing 2 boards. Now we're putting the subwoofer in. Just clear everything away. Just sits in place. Everything is pre-done for you. Everything, you just have to line everything. You tighten the F3 screws. They go right into the, hold it to the floor of the pinball machine. I used like a little, kind of like a little cup that would hold my screws to make sure I didn't lose them, and also allowed them to kind of keep them close to me. Once everything's installed, follow the directions carefully from Wagner and plug in all of your cords. Everything is labeled. I would recommend looking at the actual board itself. It has the labels on the board to where each lead goes for the exciters. The subwoofer connector is a different connector. It's kind of a bigger connector that goes in the middle of the board. It's pretty hard to mess it up. Just take your time. Make sure that you put them in the right spots. You're going to test it anyway at the end, and if it's wrong, you'll know. Get near the last steps. Take off the back box. You feed a cable through from the front to the back to connect the front speakers from the back box to the surround sound system. And just plug it in. A step I missed is there is a USB wire, labeled L and M. You connect L, the USB data cable, to the motherboard of the ALP pinball, and then you connect the M on the USB of the data cable to the amplifier board. My initial thing after doing all this is I turned it on, I had no sound. All I forgot to do was to connect the USB after doing all that. So make sure you connect that USB cable. It goes from the motherboard to the amplifier board. Letter L to letter M. With the USB connected, shut everything off, powered up again, and this was my power on test. All right, I got sound. Much better, much better. I like this little intro it does when you power up the machine.
This is my voice.
You're gonna want to do a health check.
Front speaker.
This will enable you to test, make sure all the speakers are working. You can feel the speakers vibrate. You can see my hand move from spot to spot. And what I'm feeling for is vibrations coming from the cabinet. Those vibrations all play a huge effect when you start playing the pinball machines with the SSF enabled. Get the effect of the ball rolling around.
This is my voice on the right side speaker.
The pinball machine just sounds way better with the SSF kit installed.
This is my voice on the right rear speaker. This is my voice on the right hand side.
Successful test. Once again, just put your hand on the machine on the spots and you'll feel it vibrate right there. You'll know if you have it right or not. If not, just you might need to move a cable. Time to install the Legends Pinball Arcade control panel. Of course, this is a joystick. It makes navigating the menus easier, in my opinion. But of course, down the road, hopefully we can use all these arcade controls to play arcade games on this 4K screen. But I got really used to having it on my original ALP, so I knew it was something I wanted to have on the 4KP model. So I went ahead and proactively ordered it. I'm going to throw this mug in too while I'm at it. It's a very, very easy install. Basically, you connect a USB cable and a wire, and that's it. That's it. Just two things you connect. A plug, it's a wired plug, and a USB cable. Could not be easier. I'll keep the old control panel in that box. Comes wrapped in plastic. There it is. You can see the USB connector and the red and black wire that you're going to plug in. Pretty easy. Just unwrap everything. Take your time. And trace your wires, and it'll drop right in. Time to say goodbye to this NES style control pad. While I do like the look of it, where it makes it look a little bit more like a pinball machine, I do prefer the convenience of having the joystick to go through the menus. I do want to point out the new UI interface makes this original stock setup way easier to use. So shout out to AtGames for making a much better UI, and I think it makes the original control not as bad as it used to be on the original ALP. Just connect the USB cable, the black and red wire with the plug. Pretty hard. You really can't connect it wrong. Want to give a huge thank you to AtGames, who got me the AtGames ALP 4K Addams Family Pinball and the SSF kit out a bit early so I could do some reviews on it. Did pay for both, but having time to make reviews is huge if you're on YouTube, so thank you, AtGames. I appreciate it. Last test, I'm going to check out the joystick, make sure the joystick and buttons work. And then I'm going to go through the task of making sure everything is super clean. Clean off the glass. I'm going to make sure I have nothing under there. No specks of dust, no lint. And then I'm going to reassemble the machine. Listen to a little Addams Family while I'm reconnecting the control panel. There's 4 screws that go in to hold it in place. And voila. Side rails are back on. Finish the last couple screws, and then we'll check out a little bit of gameplay. My initial impressions of the SSF kit: it's a massive improvement in sound and feel. Really feels like more like a mechanical pinball with all the vibrations happening all around the table. You kind of hear the ball rolling around. Of course, this can't be captured on YouTube. It's definitely something you're going to notice. I was not having any problems with the accelerometer getting triggered by the SSF kit, which was an initial fear that I had. Did not seem to be happening, but I need more time with it to really give my final review. But my initial impression is it's really great. I mean, it even steps it up a little higher. And once you play the AtGames ALP 4K with the SSF kit, it makes it more premium. So, if cost isn't an issue, I would say get the SSF kit. Hope this video helps you out. This has been Papa Brad with a quick install video of the SSF kit for the ALP 4K. Thank you. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, stay legit.